Would you like to generate greater profitability in your business with less effort and less hassle? Or maybe generate the same profit in your business with even less work to do? If you'd answered yes to both of these questions, then follow along. Now, I'm on the trusty whiteboard today because nothing gives greater clarity than showing you some numbers around this. If you've watched one of our previous videos on how to calculate your sales income target and how to work backwards from your profit goal, then you would have seen this little whiteboard demonstration. In this example, I'm going to keep things pretty simple. So let me just run through with you the overview at the moment. So in this business, they're out to generate $100,000 in pre-tax or net profit after paying themselves a salary. They have annual overheads of $250,000, the costs that hang over their head every month. There's salaries that aren't on the tools, so non-billable salaries of $150,000, which leads them to be able to have to generate, to cover that, a gross profit of $500,000. Now, in this example, again, pretty simple, they have a gross profit percentage of 50%. Therefore, they're out to generate a sales volume of $1 million. Now, depending on whether you're in the sales, in the service and maintenance business or in the construction and project business, that's going to be, give you a different answer to how many jobs that you'll need to do. But that leads me on to this example. And there are a couple of levers that we can tweak in here to give you an even better outcome. Now, overheads is often one place that people go to see what they can do to fine-tune their business and cut costs. And I am a big advocate in reviewing your overheads every quarter or every 90 days and seeing if you can get a better result or a better outcome or a return on every dollar that you spend. Often things like phone bill, power bill, insurances, those little incidentals can often add up. In this example, I'm going to use and change their overhead number. And because they've gone to work, they've drilled down, they've looked at ways that they can reduce their overheads, and they're going to reduce them by, in this situation, 10%. Now, we take 10% and that brings back down to our overheads are now only $225,000. So in this situation, with the same volume of work, what that would mean is their profitability in this situation could go up to $125,000. Pretty simple here. But I'm always about, well, how do I actually generate good profit without having to do as much work? Yeah, how do I reduce the amount of hours or the amount of hassle that I have? So if we flow this on, let me show you what can actually happen. We now have 100 plus 225 plus the 150, which means we only need to generate a gross profit in this business now of, you do the math, $475,000. Now, keeping the same gross profit, what that means is this business no longer needs to generate $1 million in top line sales revenue. We actually can reduce that, and if we double down, we've got $950,000. I thought that might happen. So in this situation, $950,000 reduced sales volume gives you the $100,000 net profit. But let's see what we can do to tweak something else as well. What happened if we got really smart with working on our gross profitability? Yeah. So the things we can impact to improve our gross profitability are often things like our material purchasing, often obviously our pricing, and obviously there's some other incidentals like equipment hire, subcontractors as well. But the other one we really can focus on is labor productivity. So in this situation, we've got some other videos, particularly on labor productivity, that you can have a look at. What happens if this business keeps the overheads where they are and they went to work on improving their gross profitability and they improve that by 10%? So no longer was their gross profit in this situation 50%, it was actually, 55%. So what that means from here, when they take the same gross profits required, but now they're more efficient, then what does that do to the amount of revenue that they need to generate in their business? Well, here's the beautiful thing. By tweaking this by 10%, tweaking this by 10%, all of a sudden, the amount of income that they need to generate in their business, and I'm using round figures here, not the real specifics, is around $863,000. So what we've seen is a 10% improvement here and here. Doesn't mean a 10% reduction in the amount of sales volume. It actually is much greater than that. So picture this, same great net profit, paying the salaries, less gross profit required, better gross profit percentage, overall sales volume decreased by way more than 10%. So can you see, if you become smarter and not just want to work harder, now that may be a real pun, work smarter, not harder, but what we can really see is if you go to fine tune the engine in your business, you can have an easier life. You can have things happen with flow and enjoy the journey so much more. The number of business owners that I speak to would prefer to reduce the hassles that they have, generate a better profitability, and that's what the game is all about. I trust this has been of value for you. If we can support you in any way, shape or form with helping you with aspects of this business model, then we'd love to be in touch. All the very best.